I'm Kiran Chetry. There's still no deal on a budget following late-night talks at the White House. Hundreds of thousands of Americans, including our troops overseas, are now imagining what they would do if the government shuts down. It could cut off their paychecks within 42 hours. 13 minutes past the hour and some developments right now out of Libya. Our Ben Wiedemann joins us right now from Ashdabia, an eastern city in Libya, with the latest on some conflicts there. Hi, Ben. 2 people were killed in an airstrike on an opposition convoy near the Libyan town of Al Brega. CNN's Ben Wiedemann, we just had him on with us, is reporting that it's unclear if this was a NATO airstrike or if pro-Gaddafi forces were responsible. Meantime, Muammar Gaddafi himself... Well, you may not yet know who he is, but you won't forget his story. A businessman, down on his luck, turned to music and actually found his voice. Alina Cho joins us now with his story. This is great.
It's really one of the most heartwarming stories I've heard in a long time. You guys. The
question that I was sitting here, because Christine and I just talk endlessly about what jobs you should or shouldn't sort of guide yourself to. I'm not sure I would have.
This isn't on the list of the most.
No, it's not.
But he gets it. He gets that he's going to work hard, but he's that good. What did his trainer describe him as? A Stradivarius.
Wow. Well, you know, he said, listen, I said he didn't.
I think he's a wonderful role model for his kids, too.
Isn't he?
Finding your passion and taking a chance, and I think it's awesome.
I mean, I think we're lucky because we all love what we do.
Right after this break.
And good morning to you. Glad you're with us on this American Morning. It's Thursday, April 7th.
We're extremely chipper because that's what this feels like in the morning, but there is some serious stuff going on across this country. We are 40 hours away, perhaps, from a government shutdown. Now, look, they ran...
Welcome back. It's 12 minutes past the hour right now, and we want to bring you up to date on the latest happening in Libya. More airstrikes taking place within the past hour. Our Nick Robertson is... So how will all of this play out? Here to discuss this is former NATO aide, Damon Wilson. Great to have you with us this morning. Thanks for joining us. So this letter is quite interesting. He called President Obama our son. He wished him well on his next re-election campaign, and then he also urged him to stop the NATO bombings. What do you think the goal was of Gaddafi sending this? Atlanta Council, also former top aide to NATO Secretary General. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And what was explain to me the point behind the video project and what you found?
Well, the exciting thing about this is Samsung inspired these young people
like
to be
this.
creative.
I mean, when you take a look at how we are in this country and where we lag, I mean, when you put up the numbers, the U.S. lags internationally in both math and science, unfortunately.
And reading and
all kinds
of things.
Sort of help people in the U.S., help these kids move up on that list.
So a lot of it we think is about
really smart.
But also the environment too. A lot of these kids were turning in videos that had an environmental focus or renewable energy. You think of the whole green technology field, that's science, math, engineering, and technology. So you found a big focus among young people about renewable energy and this, didn't you? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we find kids in
science
general
and technology classrooms across the country where people were all trying to understand, again, the background of nuclear energy and cleanups and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of current, I mean, it's just interesting that that's the trend that kids are seeing.
But John, I want to ask you, because you're famous for being a musician. I mean, kids, you know, kids look up to you. They know John Legend's coming into school. John Legend's helping out with this contest. It's because, you know, they love that you're a superstar musician. How do you convince them that, you know, you can also be a role model, or that you can also do something great by maybe focusing on something like science?
Well, I speak to schools all the time, and one of the
kids
things...
should know, too. I mean, you went to an Ivy League school.
Absolutely. I went to University of Pennsylvania.
There's no question about that. David Steele, John Legend, thanks both of you very much.
Great to talk to you. And as we know, you guys are going to have to whittle this all down, right?
That's right.
We're going to continue to follow you on our social networking as well. So, I mean, this contest is getting a lot of attention, and we're glad.
Excellent.
So thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, top stories coming your way after a very quick break. In AM Security Watch now, he's accused of trying to set off a bomb hidden in his underwear on a flight to Detroit with 289 people on board.
Controller busted for sleeping on the job. The FAA says that he actually did it on purpose. He was reportedly had to land planes on their own.
I don't want to start talking about hurricanes in April, but in fact, we've got some forecasts that I want to tell you about for the 2011 hurricane season. Let me start, though, with
thanks, Bonnie. Sure. Well, this one's so cute. I can't even. I love monkeys to begin with.
This is an extremely cute situation.
Very cute. This is actually not a monkey. It's an ape. Can't get that wrong.
Right.
Monkeys have tails. Apes. Anyway, it's a baby orangutan at the Houston Zoo getting some tea.
8:40 Eastern. We're going to talk to.
Is there a reason we're playing this song? Sometimes we have a theme. I don't know. What does this have to do with the Masters?
Good question.
All right, fine. Morning talker time. It's a rather
what's that green jacket got to do with the Masters?
Well, we all wonder that, but people may say it's not the cutest in terms of fashion, but you know what? Every golfer in the world wants to wear it at least once.
And the Masters
if the government did shut down. If the parties can't pass a spending bill by Friday midnight, the money basically stops flowing. But what exactly does it mean? Well, we wanted to take a look at what's going to stay open and what is going to be affected. First of all, one of the things that we talk about is the IRS tax time right now. A lot of people waiting on those refund checks. We'll have to keep waiting.
Crisis in American education. The race is on to transform terrible schools into top performers.
And this is, of course, no easy task. President Obama is talking about taking drastic steps. His administration wants to shell out millions in funding to try to fix the country's worst schools.
CNN's Suzanne Malveaux visited a school in Boston that's receiving some of that money. Officials there say their once bad school is now on the path to excellence.
That's stuff they need. The problem is how do you expand that out on a bigger scale? I mean, when you do take that time with these individual kids, they really surprise you.
Right.
Wow. Well, good thing. How can America compete if our kids don't have these skills?
56 minutes after the hour.